Let's be real, if you have been into the trading game for any X amount of time, you have all felt that one particular feeling. A feeling of blowing the account, where you knew your strategy, you knew your risk management, you literally knew everything, and you still blew the account. That is when you feel like, okay, I'm a failure, I should probably quit. But that's not the scene, that's not the issue. Here, your own psychology is your biggest enemy. If you can fix that, you can literally overcome this whole scenario. It's not just you. Every trader who had made it big in this space have always been through this particular stage. So it's not just a you problem. It's something which every trader faces, but the ones who can overcome this situation get to the other side, while most of them are just drowning. So in this particular video, I'll help you guys understand all of these issues and how do you overcome them. So blowing an account is not a badge of shame or something that you need to look down upon. That's literally the start of the next biggest thing. But what matters is, how do you react to that blown account? Are you just going to get back into trading and do the same thing again and again and again? Or are you going to make a difference this particular time? Are you going to change what you did? Are you not going to repeat the mistakes that you made? If you can do that, that's literally the biggest problem getting solved. So now, how do we do that, right? That's the biggest question. I can give you the most generic advices like trade small, do not over trade, try demo trading first backtest your strategy, and all those kind of advices which I'm sure you would have heard from literally 10 different YouTubers and gurus. But probably that works. I mean, if you can start small, if you can grow an account which is just worth $100, if you can take it from 100 to 150, technically that's just $50 of profit. But what you are missing out here is a 50% gain. That's not a small deal. 50% is something which not every trader can do. But I can tell you this, growing a smaller account is kind of easier because then you don't have a risk. You don't have a mental pressure of losing it all. Obviously, that also increases the chance of blowing your account again because then you don't care about that $100 and you are just trading randomly. So here is the biggest catch. If you can keep yourself in check, if you can keep yourself in control and then get to trading and then make sure that you're following all your rules, all your strategy without losing big. Small wins are fine. Big wins are best. Small losses are fine as well. But the only issue here is the big losses. The liquidation, the 50% account getting wiped out. That is something that you need to fix first. So as a trader, your priority is never to make profit. It's always to save your capital first and then look at the profit. So a loss of 10%, you'll have to make at least 20% now to get back. But if you make a 5% profit, that's a 5% profit. Just keep it in your bank account, just keep it in your trading account and keep growing it. Gradually that will compound and it will give you the biggest satisfaction of being a trader. And that's why we are building our confidence back, because I'm sure many of you guys would have blew your account and now you're just feeling like that, is this me? Is there a problem with me? Should I trade? Should I not trade? Should I just go back to doing something else? And I'm sure you should go back because this is a game that is not very rewarding. It won't make you successful overnight or probably not even after the end of 5 years. But if you can do it, if you can follow every single rule, if you can be disciplined, I think this game is for you and it's literally made for you. So in this video, I'm going to help you build back your confidence. I will show you ways that will help you build back your confidence, and not just that, but also actions that you need to follow to see the results. So let's start with the segment 1 of this video, which is about facing the reality or facing the truth. And that's pretty brutal. I mean, just look at you. You as a trader know almost everything, that you're not supposed to overtrade. You're not supposed to get into fear, FOMO. You already know things that you're supposed to do, things that you're not supposed to do, and still you choose to do things that you were not supposed to do. I know it sounds complicated, but in the end, these smaller issues that you thought are not that important enough are messing up your trading. So the last time when you blew your account, I guess the major reason for that was you started to take some random trades, you made some small losses, you increased your leverage, you increased your quantity size right in the second trade, and then you made a bigger loss. Third trade, probably you blew your account. That's the whole scenario, how it would have played out. But that is something which you want to eliminate. That's the brutal truth. You knew things that you were not supposed to do and you still did it and you made the biggest loss. That's your reality. You cannot control yourself. You cannot control your mind. And that's the reason why you always keep on losing in this trading game. Again, I would say this is a game because not everyone here will win. But you'll have to figure out the why. And once you know about that why, I'm pretty sure you already know what that why was. But now let's do it from the scratch. Find out what was the why. Why did you lose that money? Why did you blew that account? And the very first thing that we are going to do after we finish watching this video is to rectify that particular why and then start working on a solution for that. And in the meanwhile, guys, also make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel if you have not already done that. So I'll share a story of one of the mentees that we have in our circle. He could talk about technical analysis for hours and hours. That's what he always did. He could talk about the support, the resistance, the data backed trading, and footprint charts and whatnot, and he could do that for hours. And that literally showed in his trading as well. But the biggest issue that he faced was still not being able to make consistent profit. But why? Someone who is so much into trading, someone who always talks about it, what was the reason? Why was he failing? The reason for his failure was he could never identify the biggest mistakes that he was making, and probably even the smaller ones as well. This is where I told him that he does need a journal, a very smallest fix to one of the biggest problems that he had, and that changed everything for him. The guy was honest, he was making efforts, and he was putting all the time into it as well. Now, the smallest fix made the biggest impact in his trading. He could identify the biggest mistake that he was making was not having the right kind of risk management, even though he thought he was following it, but his losses in the journal said otherwise. So that's how his biggest problem got resolved by the smallest fix. And this is what we need to do as well. You all need to maintain a journal. Now that's the important part. Don't just maintain 4 different columns and write, okay, this was my entry, this was my exit. No, your journal is supposed to be a document that when you look at a particular trade and its entry and its outcome, you can literally go back in time and feel that particular trade. You know exactly what was happening, what you did, where you exited, why you entered. All of the answers should be resolved. Your journal needs to be very specific. It needs to have all this kind of remarks so that you can leave it back again. So you need to grab your journal and ask these questions to yourself. What was my emotional state? Was I revenge trading? Second, was I following my own rules? And if not, why did I not do it? Third, was my risk management non-existent? Fourth, was I trading a setup I hadn't probably backtested or understood? Fifth, what was the exact moment I started to go off the rails? Pinpoint it. You need to make sure that you write down such kind of questions, answer them, so the next time when you are about to get into a trade, your mind will get triggered and you know that that's not the trade that you want to be taking, or that's exactly the trade that you want to be taking. So this isn't about shaming yourself, it's about data collection, because you can't fix what you don't acknowledge. So moving to the second segment of this video, which is about rebuilding you as a trader. Now let's start from the scratch again. Does not matter if you are a great trader, if you know everything about trading. Nope. There's a reason why you're watching this video. So we are going to start literally from stage 1. Now this isn't just about technical analysis. This is about how you're entering and exiting into trades and literally everything. So what you need to do is first start with demo account. Now I'm sure there are a lot of other YouTubers talking about how good demo trading is, or probably how worse it makes your psychology. And partially I agree with both of this kind of YouTubers. But what you are doing here is not making money, because as I said, your goal 1 is not to make money. It's to save your fund. It's to build that accuracy. And with demo trading, that's what you are doing. You're building accuracy. You're building your confidence back. So this is what you're going to do. Get into any exchange, any broker, or probably get a paper trading account right in TradingView itself. Go there, make an account and start trading there exactly on your basis of strategy. Nothing additional, nothing less. Exact strategy, exact rules, exact confirmations. And that's how you're going to trade using a paper trading account. So the goal here is not about demo trading. It's about predetermined entry, no chasing, predetermined stop losses, set and forget, no moving it. Pretended take profit exit strategy, no greedy holding, no fearful exits. Correct position sizing based on a tiny fixed percentage of a demo account. Correct position sizing based upon your risk management. Now just trade like this for the next 50 trades. I know 50 trades sounds a lot, but if you see your results at the end of the 50 trades, which you took by following your strategy, by your rules, I'm sure the results that you see then will build a great confidence in you. And then when you shift to trading with your real money, it's going to make a bigger impact in your trading. So that's the reason why I talked about demo trading first. Okay, so now we are done with demo trading and probably build some kind of confidence as well. Next is about trading with the real funds. And this is where things might get tricky, because you might see different results when you were demo trading. But now when you bring in real funds, things probably might change, as I said. So here you start very small. Probably make a $100 account or a $500 account, whatever smaller funds according to you is. Start trading with them. Follow proper risk management and strategy, and that's all. Do not change anything. Do exactly what you did in your demo trading. Nothing more, nothing less. Just stick to your strategy. That's all you have to do here. And then you'll see the exact same results that you got to see in your demo trading. Obviously, trading is never a 100% thing, so it does not matter if in your first month you made profit, that does not guarantee that your second month is going to be profitable as well. So you need to make sure that you are prepared and you have realistic expectations and not 100% return every month. The objective here is to keep process over profit. And that's what I've been talking about throughout this video. Now moving to the segment third of this video, which is about the mind reset. We are already aware how we want to get started and demo trading and real funds and how to manage them. But this is about the mind reset, and I think that is very, very important. So the very first point here is detaching yourself from the P&L. So if you made a great profit in your last trade, does not mean you are a great trader. And if you lost money in your last trade, does not mean that you are a worse trader. Your P&L never shows who you are as an individual, and that's something that you need to understand as well. One bad trade does not make you a bad trader, but not following the right risk management probably does. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to detach ourselves from the P&L. So as I said, the numbers do not matter, but the structure does. So if you're following the right risk management, if you're following your right strategy, that's all that you need to do. You do not have to worry about what happened in the last trade, because every trade is on its own. They are not related to the next trade. They're not related to you. It was just an independent trade. Results, either profit or loss, does not matter. Now, why do I talk about it like detaching yourself from the P&L? Because this is literally the start of you blowing your account. One bad trade, you think, okay, probably it's not made for me. You just get into a rogue mode, or you make a random percentage in profit and then you're like, okay, this is for me. This is how I'm going to trade. And your mindset is getting trained to trade exactly like that, and that's not what you have to do. All right, so just understand this. Trading is a business, and businesses sometimes have losses, but that does not mean that their CEO is a failure, right? So that's you in trading as well. Now, the next part of this video is not exactly related to trading, but this is something which personally helped me a lot to get out of a zone where I was making losses and I was just sitting in front of my screens thinking that is trading even made for me or not? And probably I kept on making losses because I was stuck in that particular loop. And this particular point helped me a lot. It's about having a life other than trading. So looking at the screen is not the only goal that you should have as a trader. Always have some kind of hobby. Now talking about myself, my biggest interest other than trading was into bikes, into motorcycles, and that is what I did. I focused on my hobby. I built my bikes. I spent my time there. It gave me a great relief. It took a lot of pressure from me. I got a chance to be more creative. I got a chance to showcase my skills, and that is what I was doing there. And it grew pretty big. I was not just working on my own bike, but then I was also building bikes all around the country. People used to send me their bikes to modify into a certain way, and that is what I was doing. And I really loved doing what I did. And that made a very big impact without even I recognizing what it did. I was able to spend time in front of the charts and not worry about the losses or the profit that I was about to make, because my mind was also focusing on the things other than just screens, and that helped me a lot. So that is what used to happen. When I used to come back to the charts, I was refreshed, less desperate, and had a broader perspective. And that's how my trading improved, because I wasn't putting all the psychological eggs in one basket. So find something like this for yourself as well, and trust me, it will help you a lot. It will help you feel refreshed. It will help you reset, and it will show a bigger impact in your trading as well. Also understand this. Confidence isn't static. It grows as you evolve. Now, since we have built our confidence back, now we know what things we are supposed to do. Let's get to the technical part as well. What are we supposed to do exactly on the screens? What are we going to do now? What are the things that we are going to change now? And it's about keeping it extremely simple. You were using 10 different indicators, which probably you did not even understand. You were trying 10 different softwares, tools, and charting platforms, and it all messed up for you. Trading is all about keeping it simple. Now, there are different definitions of keeping it simple. A lot of traders, they probably just mark a random support and resistance level, and their plan is pretty simple. If the price comes to resistance, short the market. If the price comes to support, buy the market. But I would say that's not the right way to trade, because you need to understand what is the market structure telling you. And I know this is not the kind of video where I'm heavily emphasizing on the market structure and the price action and all those kind of things, but just understand the point. They do matter. And now, since I'm talking about the technical aspect, you need to understand what is the market structure telling you. Does it tell you that it is going to range? It is going to continue that uptrend, or it is going to continue that downtrend? Or are there chances of reversal? You need to understand that context first and then plan your trades at your key levels. So it's very important that you mark some data backed levels and not just levels that you assumed might work just because the market had reversed twice from there. And that's the reason why I have created Crypto Market Mastery, a program where I have talked a lot about data-backed trading and not just assumption-based trading. If you guys want to check it out, the link to that will be in the description. Definitely check it out. And while you do that, guys, make sure to hit that like button as well if you've not already done it. So let me give you another example of a trader that I know. What he was doing was trading forex and commodities at some time. Now, he was a great trader, no doubt about it. His technical analysis was fine. But again, here the issue was focusing on different assets at the same time. So he used to chart gold and then he used to get at a random forex pair and used to trade them all at once. And that is something which definitely messed it up for him. So when I was talking about keeping your chart simple, it's not just about marking your levels, but it's also about not spreading out yourself too much. So at the same time, I'm looking at the stock chart of Tesla and then a chart of gold and then a chart of a random forex pair. That's not what you're supposed to do as a trader. I'll tell about myself. I'm someone who trades a lot. Even though I call myself a crypto trader, my 95% of trades are only in Bitcoin and no other asset. And that's something which changed a lot for me. Focusing on a one specific chart changed everything. And I'm not even kidding about it. It's the fact. And that is probably what you should do as well. Not spreading out yourself too much. Lock yourself to 2 to 3 different assets and not more than that. So clarity breeds conviction. When you understand your edge in a specific market, your confidence in executing that edge naturally rebuilds. So we have talked about how we are supposed to keep things simple in trading. Now the next part is about understanding the power of consistency. Let's say you made a small profit of $50 today and you can do that every second day. Let's also consider that you might be making losses. But yeah, just for the sake of example, if you can keep on doing this every day, every week, just think about the power of compounding here. Those small wins eventually will compound and it will give you a better result. Obviously, we are going to be considering the small losses that we are going to make as well. But with the right risk management, you probably won't be losing more than $20-25. So even if you're following a strategy which just gives you 1:2 kind of risk to reward trade, you're still going to be making a good profit. And that's why it's important to understand the power of small winning. So that's why I said the only 3 outcomes of your trade should be small wins, big win, and small losses. That's all, nothing other than that. No liquidation, no bigger losses, no random risk management. That should never be the outcome of your trade. And I can literally guarantee you that you're going to make it big in trading. So let me tell you this, small wins, they accumulate. They rebuild trust in yourself, trust in your process, and slowly and surely, the confidence to take on bigger, more profitable opportunities will return naturally. So just think, the last 3 days, you traded, you made small wins, but you made wins. And now your confidence is literally on next level. So that is what you want, the confidence. Obviously not being overconfident and trading randomly. That's something that you need to eliminate right now. But as I said, small wins, they boost your confidence, and confidence in trading plays a very big role. So before I end this video, let me tell you this, that blowing up an account definitely feels worse. It makes you feel like the biggest failure in the world and you are just about to give up. But don't. Give it a final try. Make this final attempt. You've learned everything that you needed to know. Now, let's get back in front of our screen. Let's get those journals out. Let's make the best effort. Let's be extremely consistent without worrying about the outcome of our trades, without attaching ourselves to the P&Ls. Let's make this the biggest comeback we have ever made. I mean, I'm sure we can do that, right? We've sustained for a very long time. We have made losses. We have made profits. We know how to make profit. We just shied away from following our strategy. That's the only reason. That discipline is what we missed. Now we have all the elements of becoming the best trader. Let's follow them and make sure that this time the results are completely different. Thank you so much for watching this video and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.